Azure Portal is one of the most useful thing which you can learn in Azure. This is ultimately a website. You can see that the URL is portal.azure.com, and if you have successfully activated your free subscription, then this is a portal which is going to help you to create different Azure resources in this. As you can see in the left side column, we have a create a resource button. And if I click on this, we have flavors of resources available in this. If you want to create a virtual machine, or maybe you want to create a containerized applications with Kubernetes or maybe container registry, or maybe you want to host a simple database which is a SQL database, or maybe a MySQL or PostgreSQL. Azure resources are available on Azure Portal, and not only Azure resources, there are a couple of services which are associated with Azure Portal which are super flexible, and it is really easy to customize Azure services and resources within this portal. If you want to deploy anything on Azure, the first place is Azure Portal. While other than Azure Portal, there are people who can use PowerShell, or they can use even this one which is known as Cloud Shell. We'll see Cloud Shell in some time, but right now I want you to understand different sections of this Azure Portal. Like you can see, when I close this thing, this screen which is visible here is known as dashboard. If you want, you can add multiple dashboards here, and in different dashboards you can have different sections available in that. When you choose your dashboard, it's going to switch that thing and it's going to show you whichever section you have added into that. Then we have something which is known as home. This home is providing you all the recent resources which you have checked, and then it's giving you different sections where you can deal with your subscription, you can deal with the templates available on this, or you can see the services which are available from older portal. Yeah, this is also something which I want to add, that there was a classic portal before this. So when Azure was invented, this portal was not there. This portal launched by Microsoft in the year 2014. And then from that point onwards, they have shifted everything to this new portal. In this new portal, everything which you are able to see, which is having a word classic, this simply means that this is available in this new portal, but this belongs to the older model, which was known as a service model. The important part of this portal is resource groups and resources, and you can access any of your resources which is inside a resource group. So you can see I have a 4 resource group inside this resource group section, and if I want to see all the resources, it's going to show me all the resources. Also, it's showing me the details of that, like this belongs to which resource group, which type of the resource it is, and also it belongs to which region. Azure Portal website is really improved in last couple of years, and Microsoft is still working on this, and they are actually working on this and making this thing better and better every day. Now, we all know that Azure Portal is allowing me to create resources and different kind of resource groups easily. So we have varieties of things offered by Azure in this, and if you want to create any of these things using this portal, we can just follow simple steps and we can create it. Ultimately, this Azure Portal is nothing but a website, and one of the important feature of this website is this button. You can see when I move my mouse on this top edge, is showing me that we have something called Cloud Shell. If I click on this, it's going to open the bottom bar, in which it's going to show me that I can connect with something called Cloud Shell, which is allowing me to connect with this Cloud Shell, and I can fire a scripting using PowerShell or Bash. Because I am creating this thing in my account first time, it's showing me that you do not have any storage mounted for this. Now don't forget, we have something called Azure Storage, which is allowing me to store a couple of files into my Azure account. It's asking me that you please create a new storage, so I'm going to click on Show Advanced Settings. And then I can choose my region and the names of my resource group and storage account. I'm going to click on Create a New Account, and I'm giving my new shell 345, that's the name of the resource group. Name of this, I'm giving my shell 345, and the file share inside that, I'm giving my file share 345. I'm using this number into this just to keep the uniqueness into this, because there are chances that sometimes when you create a new account and a new resources into this account, you will have issues and you'll have conflict because somebody has already created things with the same kind of names. So I always advise you put your name or some unique number with that to remove this conflict. If I click on create storage, there are chances that it's going to deploy one new storage in this resource group. And then if I go to my resource group section of this account, I am going to have a new resource group with this storage account created inside that. Remember, this storage account is going to be associated with my Cloud Shell, and then this is that process which I have to do only once. You can see it's created and now it's initializing my account for Cloud Shell. After a few moments, this process will be done and I'm going to get my command prompt kind of terminal. Yes, now my terminal is ready and you can see it's showing me PS for PowerShell, and it's showing me that we are able to fire some commands into this directory. Focus on certain things, like on the left top corner, we have a drop down from where we can switch from PowerShell and Bash. PowerShell is one of the widely used scripting language from last couple of years. And same way, even Bash is also equally popular. There are a number of administrators who advise and who prefer Bash on top of PowerShell. Same way, there are a couple of there who actually love PowerShell. When we are dealing with Bash or PowerShell in this Cloud Shell, remember, literally you can do everything which is possible with this Azure Portal through these commands. Actually, there are a couple of things which you can do with PowerShell, but you cannot do this thing directly in this portal, because ultimately this portal is nothing but a website which has some limited features available in the UI. But if you're dealing with Azure Cloud, almost everything you can do with PowerShell and the commands of PowerShell. The better way to deal with this Cloud Shell is you first click on this button, do this process which I have done just now. Once this process is configured and your Cloud Shell is connected with the storage, it is advisable you close this and then you open a new tab in which you're going to type shell.azure.com. We know that the URL of my portal is portal.azure.com. If your Cloud Shell is connected, you just type shell.azure.com. It will ask you which directory you want to use. Let's say I'm using my default directory in which I have configured my Cloud Shell. And this is going to give you a better UI where your Cloud Shell is available in a full screen. Now onwards, whenever I want to use Cloud Shell, I always type shell.azure.com and then I'm going to fire my commands into this. We can also save a scripting in the .ps1 format and then we can run it here. Remember, this Cloud Shell is running inside the Azure Portal, and that's the reason it is directly connected to that. So we are not going to use a local PowerShell or a command line interface which is installed in the machine. We are directly going to use this, which is doing almost same thing.